The scrape of laughter fills the room, and praying, prying eyes looking on Lear as she slowly ventures in. Her dainty fingers quiver holding a virgin pen. She signs, then passes to a confident, meaty hand, and a variegated band of voices begins to form a list. She stands, goes first, steps over Snickers towards stage, whispering past wolf calls after the speakers sound her name. The audience is a minefield whose dangers are lost amidst the sacrificial shotgun beats of her own heart as she abducts the microphone and tells the world about fortitude and facing frontiers. Welcome to an open mic, where young men confess to the witchcraft of loving other men, closet doors flung off hinges and light flooding cellar depths, where a wisdom generation of bards writes shards of songs to share with the hot, cold mouths of babes and children, fetal position, burst forth from guts through throats to find their God's voice and swing from it screaming, "This is my name, this is my voice, I am not alone." And hands, unfamiliar, put down glasses, crash in awed tidal wave applause, and go in, poet. Show your demons to the brightness of the sun. Let him swallow them undone like bitter morsels until they burn and char in his mouth. Raise your skin past your scars. Let their shiny, tender gloss fade into the Mars of your flesh. Show your wounds to the brokenness of us. Let your wrists bleed words. Your courage carry you one more day, because it takes strength to stay alive. And sunrise means survival. And my friends, I will see you in the morning for breakfast. Welcome to an open mic, where catharsis crawls up chords and strangles the horrors seeping from hissing lips and contorts confessions into psalms. Paint with your palms the canvas of my ears, the colors you've always seen, the colors you've always been, the ones that you were made to believe dirty or ugly or not enough. Play me a symphony of your successes and sorrows, your future tomorrows. Sing me the sincerities and sarcasms that linger in the tenor of the voice you reserve for yourself, the one with the cadence only you march to. Come to the poets when your parents abandon you, when the priests tell you it's too late, when the shrink's pills are caught in your throat, and when the putrid stench of certain memories threatens to ambush you. Write me a war cry, this stage. Write me a ballad, my stage. Write me a sonnet of survival, your stage. Write me a villanelle, a sestina, a prayer, our stage right. These words, a music box. Let them dance from your tongue until the claws let go, until your shame dies a death the length of this poem. Thank you. Words on burying parents. You now belong to a club called the Natural Order of Things. It is little comfort, and though not raw forever, the wound will never heal. Do not run from your grief. Do not try to put your grieving behind you. Grief is a lasting testimony to worth. Lament is a holy part of life. Lament is a love song. Perhaps one day, all love songs won't end in lament. Before she departs, tell your mother it is okay for her to go. Speak the words aloud to her beautiful, suffering vessel. Release your hold and feel the universe expand by one. At the funeral, When your father's wavering grip surprises you, accept and cling to his unfamiliar hand. This is the lesson in vulnerability that you have never learned. Know that when it comes time, you will be ready to let him go. When it comes time, you are not ready to let him go. So you cry. You cry until you can't inhale. You cry until you choke on desperation. You cry until you clutch for the silence left behind you on the cliff from which you cannot stop falling. See now, a world hidden to dry eyes. You confront a neverness that is so absolute it consumes your every instance, rendering even your most unblemished memories soggy. Never again to be here with us, never again to embrace, never to share a meal with us. Questions you have will never be answered. Never again will she apprehend the world quietly. Never again will his fingers nurse geraniums from the earth. No, you will bury yourself on that day. It will be you who watches gardeners lowering on squeaking straps. It will be you who shovels dirt. It will be you who is left behind after wiping eyes and reading psalms. You now have one more thing in common with your siblings. The biggest thing you had in common with your siblings is now gone. So you visit the grave. Because pinks will ripen into purples and yellows will rot to brown. Orange will sing hallelujah, fruit brews blue on the ground. You will recognize all the things you knew before and remember delighting in them. Mown lawns will always remind you of father, and Mother's Day will always hurt. You will delight in the things you knew before, but without a certain zest. Passion will be ever sobered by the somber everness of loss. The wind in the oaks abides. Always bring flowers. Thank you.